guys, welcome back to Punting with the People, another vlog, another weekday in Germany. Today I have a special treat. I am going to go to a typical German bakery, buy a whole bunch of typical German pastries and cakes and try them and let you know what I think and what they are. So we're just on our way to the bakery now and I'll see you guys in a little bit. We went to the bakery, we got a whole bunch of German treats, even something that they suggested was the bestseller, I guess. And it's a bit colder today in Dresden than it normally has been, but I think that's because it rained last night. So it's perfect weather for coffee, cake and pastry. Woo! So we went to the bakery and we've got a couple of different things. We've got this one here, which is called Eierschecke, which is basically kind of like a layered cream cake. The closest thing we kind of have to it in Australia is kind of like, I guess, a cheesecake. Then the one on the back here is called Quark-Kuchen, which is basically quark is like a cream. They used to make cakes here. We do have it in Australia, but we don't really use it. But it's kind of same thing like a baked cheesecake, which is really, really nice. Okay, and then on this plate, we have a selection of, I guess, donuts. There is the one at the front, which is called a Spitzring, which kind of looks a bit like a glazed donut. I'm not quite sure what kind of consistency it has, but we'll find out. This one here, you see it a lot. They call it sometimes a Berliner. I think it's filled with jam. It might be filled with cream, I'm not too sure. But in the bakery, they call it a Pfannkuchen. These little bad boys I'm really excited about because these are called Quarkbällchen, which is basically quark-filled donuts. Kind of like, I guess, a custard donut, like a profiterole. It's filled with this stuff. So these, I hope, are going to be really good. Also, while I'm here, it's a cold day in Dresden. I'm rocking my Punting for the People hoodie. So if you want merch, I have merch available. I'll put the link in the description. All the proceeds that I'm raising are going towards a charity. So if you like the look, if you want this, there's shirts, there's long sleeves, there's hoodies. Look at the link in the description. Hit me up. I might be able to get you a discount code if it's the right time. So Punting for the People has merch. So let's eat. I thought they were filled with stuff. Oh, what a fail. So this is my first epic fail when it comes to the German language today. These were called Quarkbällchen, and I thought by the size of them they were going to be filled with like a cream kind of quark, like a custard donut or an eclair. But it turns out, which I've now been told, they are filled with quark, but it's the actual donut itself is used, the dough is using quark. So I bet it tastes good, but I thought they were going to be like a mini version of this, so let's have a go. They're definitely soft, and the inside is quite creamy. When you eat it, it doesn't kind of taste or feel in your mouth like a normal donut. It does kind of get a bit of a creamy consistency. It's really nice. It's a really sweet donut, which is probably why they're so small. It's not bad. It's kind of similar to, I guess I'd say like a Krispy Kreme, like donut kind of flavour in terms of how sweet it is, so it's really good. This one is the Pfannkuchen or the Berliner. I can see a hole here and I can see some red stuff, so I take it it's going to be like a Himbeer or Erdbeer jam, strawberry or raspberry, but we'll find out when I eat it. So automatically putting my fork through it, I can see the jam coming out. I think I'm going to have to use my hands. So you can see there, heavily filled with, it looks what is to be strawberry jam. Strawberry. Erdbeer in German. Definitely a fluffier consistency to the Quark Belgian, but I will say it's not as sweet. Probably the icing sugar on the outside makes it a bit sweeter than what it probably should be. I'd probably prefer it with a little bit less icing sugar, but the strawberry jam also makes it really sweet. So this would be really good to have on the go. They're like €1 each, they're cheap as, but this with a bit of coffee would be delicious. The Spritz ring, which is basically like a traditional donut with a hole in the middle. It's got this really thick icing, which I take it's just kind of like an icing sugar mixture, and it seems very light, like much lighter than the other donuts. Very airy, more kind of like an eclair or a croissant, not really a croissant, but just definitely looks a lot lighter. The icing sugar the icing is much like that of like a Krispy Kreme. When I open it up, you can see how much lighter it is. There's so much more air in the dough. This is where like me enjoying food comes into it, because I kind of know a little bit what I'm talking about, but it breaks apart very easily. Very air-filled dough, so very light. And very light when you eat it as well. It's really just, it's got a bit of a buttery taste, but it doesn't really feel like it has a filling. It's like you're just kind of eating the outside crust. The rest of it just kind of dissolves in your mouth, which is great. And then the icing, of course, adds that typical German sweetness to the cake. So everything I've had so far has got some kind of sweetness, and it's really good. This one here is the Quarkkuchen, or like a baked cheesecake is probably what I'd compare it to back home. It's got a really firm skin on the top. You can see as I poke it with my fork, it just goes in. It's like got a bit of a crust, but then inside it's very soft, very creamy, almost that of like a baked cheesecake consistency, maybe a little bit softer. The fork goes through it perfectly. Very wobbly, struggling to keep it on my fork. But it's a pretty subtle flavour, a little bit vanilla-ish. The base isn't quite crisp, it's not like a biscuit base, but the one thing I'll say is it's kind of a mix between baked and continental cheesecake. The top is firm like a baked cheesecake, then the inside, as you get lower, it's a little bit more uncooked, kind of that of a continental cheesecake back home, but it's got a nice flavour, very simple, very easy to make back here in Germany, and for a guy with a sweet tooth like me, it tastes good. Next up is my personal favourite, one that I've eaten plenty of my 2 seasons or 1 bit seasons here in Germany. It's Eierschacher. Eierschacher is basically a mixture of a couple different cakes. There's the Quark base, which is similar to that of the cake we just tried in the Quarkkuchen. Then there's a base up here, which is basically kind of like a vanilla pudding. So it's like you're making like a vanilla kind of cake or a pudding cake, and then it's all put together with a biscuit base similar to the Quarkkuchen. Then, depending on where you are in Germany, I don't know whether this is a typical Saxony thing or a Dresden thing, it's filled with raisins or sultanas. That can be all the way through the cake or just in partial pieces. And this one, which I haven't seen yet since I've been here, is topped with either, I'd say it'd be hazelnuts, maybe peanuts, but I'm more guessing hazelnuts. But this one is by far my favourite cake here in Germany. If anyone has a recommendation of where the best Eierschecke is in Dresden, leave a comment, let me know, because I want to try it, because this cake has everything. It's got texture, it's got flavour, it's got sweetness, it's got savouriness. It is perfect, and I am excited. And you'll never ever get a bad Eierschecke wherever you go. It seems like everywhere in Dresden knows how to make this. It's kind of, I guess, like a state dish, like a well-known dish here in Dresden, a well-known cake, but it is delicious. And it's hard to make back home because you need a certain pudding mix, you need a certain quark. That kind of stuff isn't available in Australia, so when I come here, I love it. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the vlog. I enjoyed the cake, I enjoyed the walk, I enjoyed all of Germany. If you have any comments about what I'm eating, whether it be the cake or whether it be the donuts, let me know. If you have a comment on another thing that I should try, or like I said, you've got a recommendation of where I should actually eat, a bakery in Dresden, or even if there's places around Germany that you think might be worth a visit, let me know. Like, subscribe, share the video, get your merch. Every day, it's lit. Let's go. Weekend, Potsdam, Game 2, Dresden Monarchs. Talk to you later.